Thank you, Eric, for joining us today. As you know, being the president of our society, we are celebrating 50 years of serving people searching for their family records here in Clark County. But we want to do something more, so we are asking the question of as many people as possible is, where were you and what were you doing in 1972?
In 1972, I was working for Pacific Power and Light Company as a street lighting engineer, which entailed working in the office as well as going out and doing field work. In May of 1972, I went to a convention of illuminating engineers in Banff, and that was very pleasant. But one of the entertainments was to go down to a dude ranch. And I mean that literally, go down, because the elevation of the dude ranch was probably a couple thousand feet lower than the Banff Springs Hotel. And we got down there and they had a picnic type of dinner for us, and but nobody had realized that this was when all the mosquitoes hatched. And the mosquitoes were really hungry and fierce. We ate our food, got back on the bus, and headed back to the hotel. That was kind of an experience.
Yes, that makes great stories. Did you take pictures? Do you remember?
I think I took a few.
I took a few.
But I didn't take a lot of pictures in those days. It cost money. You had to get the film developed.
Oh yeah, no, that's a good point.
So, and then later in that summer, why I was a delegate to a national church convention, which was held in Dallas, and the daytime temperature was over 100, and the nighttime temperature, by the time we got through, was 9 o'clock-ish, and we'd go out. My wife was along on that one, and we'd go out and walk around the hotel, but it was still pretty warm. And then we used that opportunity to go visit my brother and his family over in Austin.
So your family settled in what part of the Northwest? Were you in Vancouver or Portland?
My parents settled in Parkland outside of Tacoma.
Oh, okay.
And I spent most of my formative years there, and also went to Pacific Lutheran College, where my father was a professor.
So were your parents the first to settle in Washington State?
Yes. Most of the rest of the family was in either Minnesota or South Dakota.
So I know you have Scandinavian roots. So what generation was the first generation to come to the New World?
My great-grandfather and my great-great-grandfather came as a family in 1854.
Yeah, a lot of people were moving in that era.
And so, they settled in South Dakota.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Well, this might be a good time to also mention that our society has focus groups, and you're greatly involved with one of our focus groups, which is the Scandinavian focus group. and we have a lot of Scandinavian descendants in our group, so you guys learn things, but some of you have also traveled.
I've traveled once to Norway, and we landed in Copenhagen and looked around there for a couple of days, and then got on a bus. The bus drove north to the ferry landing, and we took the ferry. And then on the Norwegian side, we took the bus around the perimeter of Norway, the southern perimeter of Norway, to Stavanger and Bergen, and then went inland to the Stalheim Hotel, and then went north from there all the way to Tromsø, which is above the Arctic Circle, and then flew from Tromsø back to Oslo.
Were you able to connect with any cousins?
Yes. At the Stalheim Hotel, which is located on a hill above the valley where Jordalen Farms is, and there is a white piece of granite that is called Jordalsnuten, which is just out the windows, and I was taking pictures of that on the veranda of the hotel, and somebody came and told me, there's a bunch of people here that want to talk to you, and it was all my relatives. There were 11 people there, and they had come. The only thing I had done to start that was to send a postcard to the family that my parents knew about, and 11 people showed up, and I was quite shocked by that. And we spent about 4 hours, maybe 5, looking at genealogies and comparing, and they turned out to be my 3rd and 4th cousins.
What a wonderful experience!
Very memorable.
A lifetime experience. Well, thank you so much, Eric. We've learned another aspect of what genealogy will teach you about your own family and about the rest of the world. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.